Welcome back to Reasonably Afraid. It's our Black History Month episode with my co-hosts. We got Sean Dolan.
Oh, hello.
We got Ray Reyes.
Hi.
And we got me.
Zach
You may
Bennett.
be saying to yourself, yes, Zach Bennett.
Zach Bennett.
You may be saying to yourself, hey,
Thanks.
there's no black people here for your Black History Month episode.
You're correct.
True, but they
And
did
that's-
something a little different this time. They let me. He said my name first.
That's true. I
Yeah.
wanted to switch it up a little, keep you on your toes.
Thanks, man.
Well, I felt like, as Ray also felt this way, did feel a little pandery, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little.
Kind of unnecessary to... You can honor Black History Month without going...
Without looking for a token.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be kind of against everything the podcast
Yeah,
is about.
the only
Yeah.
way we were gonna do this is if we replaced all of us with black people.
Which I wanted to do.
Yeah,
That's
and we
great.
need the attention too much. So
Yeah.
sorry, you're gonna have to wait.
No.
Next year.
Yeah, next year when schedules line up a little better.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, actually, if we found Sean. I know a black Sean.
Yeah?
I was gonna say a few, but I only know one black Sean.
He doesn't have to actually have your name.
No, we should
No, I know
find
Black
someone.
Sean.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know, is there a
Not
black
here.
Ray and a black Zach?
There's-
We should do that.
There's
We
not
should...
a ton of Black Zacks. It's a...
Yeah. Zach is pretty
It's not,
white.
it's not
yeah.
exclusively white, but it is a
I don't think
lot
I've
of
met
white.
a black Zach.
I've met one that I can think of in my life.
What was he like?
Guy, I don't know.
Mm.
Cool. I don't remember, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I want to know more about Black Zach.
Yeah.
If you're out there and your name is Zach and you're black,
We'd love to chat.
come be on the show.
Come on, that'd be sick, dude. They have like our man, like Black Ray's wearing a hood just like Ray, and he's like, fucking cocaine.
I mean, there's black in my lineage for sure. I have Afro-American or Afro-Latino in there.
Yeah.
Okay, well then,
That's true, yeah.
Okay, fine. You don't need to get replaced. It'll just be us, dude. Why
It
do you...
would be a funny way to
Trying
market
replace
this.
Puerto Rican.
We market it. We go, he's Puerto Rican. Close enough.
We got one.
People were watching. What the hell happened to this podcast? So today we're going to be covering, of course, Candyman.
Yeah.
You can't cover black horror without talking about Tony Todd. I mean, you can, but it would seem wrong. You know,
It would
to
be
not.
wrong.
to
Is
not,
he in other things? He's the villain or the Candyman. He's the Candyman.
Sure.
He's
The
Candyman.
first one.
Yeah.
Is he in other things? Because I feel like his face looked familiar.
He's in a
Final
lot of
Destination
things.
movies.
That's why I've okay. Yeah.
If you're new to
He's
the
weird
podcast,
morgue guy.
if you're new to the podcast, part of our dynamic is Sean knows nothing about horror and he
Yeah.
learns about it through the podcast. While I have all the fun facts and Ray yells a lot.
I do all the editing.
No, he does all the editing. He shoots it.
That's a
He
lot
gets
of
all
editing
lighting.
because I'm so loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
loud.
a lot of him messing with his own levels, honestly.
Yeah. Everybody else is fine. It takes me a few days to finish my own voice.
I like the last
And
episode,
thoughts.
though.
Yeah. I also have crippling anxiety and self-deprecation, so I can't listen to myself. It's impossible to edit this podcast, to be
Yeah.
honest with you guys.
That's
Oh, that's why your volume was so loud on the last episode. You
Yeah.
just stopped listening. You were like louder than everybody, and I was like, "It's not. It doesn't ruin it or anything." But I was like, "Is this?" Ray
Oh, well,
being
that
like,
was... I was trying to overcompensate because the mic kept cutting out, so like I
Oh, okay.
raised the level of it
so to cover the.
so it'd cover the cutting or whatever. Yeah. This is all technical jargon.
this. But you guys probably
Yeah.
don't even know what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
you guys don't
Fucking
care.
idiots.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you enjoyed.
Probably
If-
sounds like quantum physics. to
Yeah,
you guys.
the rocket science. You guys even know what a microchip is?
Hey, are you running that timer, by the way? I need.
Oh, I thought you were
to-
joking.
No, I need you to run.
Okay, you guys listen to this. This guy told me to record a timer to time the episode, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
Don't put it face down.
So we can see it.
I don't want to look at it.
Yeah, I need it.
I don't like looking at the clock.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
It
god.
makes the time go by too slow.
Zach, talk about Tony Todd again for a
You
second.
cut all this, and so I can put it on Patreon with the other thing. All right.
Maybe.
He's not going to do it. There's no way
No.
he's going to do it. So, listen, before we hop into Tony Todd, R.I.P., we lost him this last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, passed away.
Yeah, but so we wanted to honor him a little bit and talk about Candyman, and because it's Black History Month, we did want to touch on the new Candyman, which deals with a lot of the elements of our society today.
Which, by the way,
Yeah.
Ray and I were both saying this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sequel.
Yeah.
That
not a
was
remake.
not made clear. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought it was a remake. We're doing remake for remake. This was the intention of the
Yeah.
episode, and then I didn't even know it was a sequel because I hadn't seen the first Candyman, and I thought it was a remake.
Yeah.
And I watched the second one thinking it was a remake. It was not.
Technically, this is the fourth one.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's also Farewell to the Flesh, which is one of the sequels, and then I forgot
Day
the
of
name of
the
the other
Dead.
one, Day of the Dead. That's right. So,
Mhm.
which actually that one takes place in, I believe,
Mexico.
2020,
Oh.
2019 or 2020.
Really?
Yeah, that one actually is in the future a little bit. So this
That
one,
was 5 years ago.
this one almost picks up exactly after the
40.
events of
third
that one. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting.
Wait, when was that movie made? I don't get it.
What was that? 2000.
Oh,
99 or
so it was
2000.
made in it was only made
Yeah.
20 years in the future.
I apologize if that's wrong, but we're not focusing on those today. So you
Yeah.
know, put it in the comments if you really need to talk about that.
Or come
Wait, why am I
fucking
being-
fight us.
That
Yeah,
is
Either
cool.
one.
yeah. Come find us.
Come find us.
Yeah, leave us hate comments in real life,
It
coward.
really say it to my fucking face.
Yeah,
dude.
show up at a show and heckle us, but not about the material we're doing. Sean,
Seriously.
don't rub the mic with your face.
Why not? I do it a lot. I do it a
I
lot.
know
Shut
you
it.
do. You
We
can hear
hear
it
it.
on the show, but you never listen to it, so you don't know. You can hear you rubbing the mic on
Yeah,
the show.
really?
I get it a lot.
In a
yeah.
good way or a bad way?
In a bad way. It's never good.
It's not gonna come. It's a mic in a good way or a bad
I feel like a
way.
cat.
Is this it? Is this it?
I feel like a cat.
We're gonna have to
I
take
don't know.
the fucking windshield off of his mic because he keeps rubbing.
He'll just touch that too.
I feel like I'm cleaning myself.
He'll just start putting it in his mouth or something. All right, let's get into it.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna cover Candyman '92 first,
All right,
and then we'll do the comparisons with the sequel and talk about that some. But you know, Candyman's a classic, and so that's where the bulk of the episode's gonna be from the '92 version.
Oh, it's a classic.
It's a classic, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Candyman 1992, rated R, 99 minutes. Ray, would you like to do the recap on Candyman? And when I say recap, I do mean the most basic. You
Most
know,
basic
Yeah,
general
you
thing?
you don't have to do start to finish.
Or can you, man?
Just explain it.
Can you, man? Can you,
I
man?
hate
On
this.
Candyman? Huh?
Can you explain it?
Can you do it? Can you explain to the folks at home what a Candyman is? Can you, man?
No, you're right. You're right. You fucking do it. Tell them about Candyman.
Dude, fucking.
Explain it to him like he only watched it in the background while he was doing other stuff.
Fuck. Listen, man. This shit was
Oh,
fucking he was invented.
never mind. Stop.
No, listen, the movie
Okay,
starts
yeah,
off with
yeah.
an ominous speech with bees, right? You know, honestly, these movies are hard to explain because I can try, but
Yeah,
he comes.
You can stop right now.
Okay.
He, fucking,
I
he
mean,
haunts
I can't.
white women because he's in love with them,
Not
Yeah.
untrue.
Yeah, that's pretty
Ray,
accurate.
can you give
which
a-
is like kind of. Oh yeah, yeah.
I kind of forget how the beginning of the movie. Well, she's a journalist, the main character.
Yes.
Kind of forget how it started, but essentially she just starts. She's looking for like an article to write.
article.
Yeah.
about urban legends.
An urban legend
No.
about urban legends.
It's her thesis.
It's her thesis. Yeah,
Yes,
you're
correct.
right.
Her
It's her
students.
thesis. And
Funny, he knows nothing, and then all of a sudden he knows the most specific, correct.
I lock in on like
Yeah.
random details and then write that down.
I'm
like, I
the
don't
big
remember-
picture guy. I'm the big.
I don't remember what this movie's about, but she works for the Pentagon. I know that. Okay.
And so she gets a hint of an urban legend from the staff at the school about Candyman, and so she starts interviewing the staff members, and then eventually shows up to the hood where these crimes were happening and these urban legends were happening. She'd walk around taking pictures of graffiti. Gangbangers are staring her down. You know what I like about this movie? Just a little side note. That black girl was also terrified. Just walking into that random hood, which is also like, there's so many white people that are like, oh, when you're white in a hood, you know, they target you. It's just like, no, they target anyone who's not from there.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
It's kind of beautiful that way.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, it's funny. They're like, oh no, they're gonna think we're cops. You're like, no, that's kind of a good thing in this case.
Yeah.
Like, leave you alone. They just won't talk to you.
Yeah, and so they think they're cops. They walk around.
yeah.
They end up talking to some lady in the apartment. Lady in the apartment tells them about Candyman. They find a bunch of holes in the wall where this lady starts exploring the holes. A bunch of weird shit happens. Before you know it, Candyman starts showing up. And then out of nowhere, she just passes out. And then she wakes up with a headless dog next to her in the apartment of the lady that she was interviewing. And then she gets up, she walks around the apartment. Lady sees her with a knife. Baby is missing. And then she ends up having to cut the lady because the lady tried to kill her because she just killed her dog. Which she just thinks she just killed her dog.
She didn't, though.
And her baby's gone, her dog's headless, and this lady's walking around with a knife because Helen, the white lady, thinks she's gonna have to defend herself because she hears a woman screaming in the other room, and so that woman immediately interprets it as she killed her dog and stole her baby.
Valid.
Yeah, and then so they arrest her. She goes to jail. She's going through the process of jail. She's sitting there trying to explain herself to everyone. No one's listening. She gets to the psychiatric ward. This is when no. Before that, she gets out on bail. They just let her get out on bail.
Yeah, you can you can wake up bloody in an apartment holding a fucking meat cleaver with a headless dog.
Yeah.
And then be like, nah, dog, I gotta go home.
Yeah, and
And
they're
they
like,
let her.
you're white, you're fine.
Just put it on my tab.
Yeah. She's like, I got class in the morning. They're like, oh gosh, you have class?
Oh, student?
A student?
Well, come right this way, white lady.
And you're white? You have a future ahead of you.
So she goes home.
So she goes home.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, Candyman shows up again in the apartment. I'm gonna start calling him Candyman.
Candyman.
The Candyman. Yeah, that works. That works. We'll get to it later.
So her friend shows up.
Her friend shows up
To
while
console
Candyman
her.
shows up. Candyman murders her friend in front of her.
Which was fucked up.
Fucking
She didn't do
fucked
anything
up.
wrong.
Oh,
Cops
brutal.
show up again.
yeah.
She's passed out.
Because the husband found her.
Because the husband found
Passed
her.
out. Yeah.
Passed out. Friend dead. They obviously are like, okay, you chopped off a Rockwilder's head. There's a missing baby. And your friend is dead in your apartment.
That's so
You
messed
for
up.
sure did it.
Oh,
We
I
can't
want to talk
even-
about him right now. Ooh, I just
Oh, the husband? Yeah.
no,
He's a cool
the
guy.
fucking Candyman, man. He's killing innocent black women
Yeah.
because he
great.
loves white women.
That's true.
Well, we'll
That's
get to
true.
it.
Sorry,
We'll get to
sorry.
it. We'll get to it.
Continue. I'm getting festered.
He's a metaphor for racism, so I think that's like kind of what he does. So now she's in jail, and she just decides to try to prove that she's not crazy to the psychiatric, and just says Candyman several times. He shows up, murders the psychiatric, blows himself out of the window. Psychiatrist?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a lot of calls to make. Flies out of the window, lets her go before he does, and he's like, bitch, come find me. He didn't say that, but there was the implication.
You saw it in his eyes.
You
said,
saw it in his eyes. He was like, come
You
find
said, come
me.
on.
And so she
You
goes.
want this?
She rushes off, goes back to her apartment to tell her husband what's going on. Boom!
She's-
Another woman in the apartment that he was having an affair with the whole time. To be fair, his wife was murdering people in his perspective.
Yeah.
No,
I wouldn't.
he was doing it beforehand, I think.
Was he?
Oh.
Yeah, that was the implication.
Remember in the
first
beginning?
scene.
In the beginning, she comes to visit him at the school, and all the girls are like standing around him, and that girl is clearly flirting with him. And then she comes over, and she's like, and the girl like kind of shies away, and like she stares her down.
Yeah.
Like she knows, she already knows something's going on. but she just doesn't know it's physical. But she knows there's some kind of flirtatious thing happening there.
Okay. Well, it was wrong up until the point that he thought she was murdering people. Then he was in the clear.
Yeah. Well, no, he was like, "Oh, thank God!" Now
I know, he was
He was like, "Oh, thank God, now."
"I'm justified."
now
Yeah.
I
She
don't
was a
get it.
murderer the whole
Babe,
time.
get over here. I'm horny.
I didn't cheat. I just always knew deep down she was a serial killer.
Tired of fucking this girl in her dorm room. Her dorm room. Get out of here.
When she came home that one time and the bed was empty, and she asked him where he was, and he was like, "Oh, I was sleeping."
Oh no, she called him from
Oh, she
jail,
called.
and he
From
didn't
jail.
pick up.
Mhm.
And they cut
yeah.
to that. Yeah.
Dude, honestly though, you know, it's funny when she like found out it was a lie, or like, you know, you see that.
Yeah.
I actually was like, for half a second, I was like, wait, is the husband Candyman? Is that the implication in blackface?
That would be a hell of a storyline. Is that he's actually like to blame
Yeah.
it on black people, and he just
Yeah.
wants to go around murdering?
Yeah, the
Damn.
fucking Scooby-Doo plot line.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's just having an affair. Okay, now, not that I hate that.
Yeah.
Don't cheat on your wife,
Yeah.
Here's the other thing
but
about that.
also don't, you know, pretend to be black and then murder people.
Yeah.
Here's
That's
the other thing
worse.
about that. What was his plan? He didn't know she was going to be in prison or jail.
Yeah.
Like, what was his plan to be not at home at 3 a.m? That.
Oh yeah.
Like he's like, oh, you know, I
Well,
was
when
just
she didn't
fast
show up
asleep.
at 1, he was like, "Well, I might as well leave. She's
Yeah.
not coming back."
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Yeah, he's like,
sorry,
well,
I'm
she's out
having
cheating.
sex with my student. I mean, grading my student's vagina.
Anyway, the final showdown.
Yeah, I like that. I like
oh, fuck, honey, I'm about to come home.
Final scene, she confronts Candyman. Candyman reveals it was actually you the whole time, implying that she had committed the murders, which I think she did.
Wait, what?
Well,
like,
even
that
if
was the
she did-
Wait, I
implication.
missed that. Wait.
It's implied that she physically did it and that he
Oh, he
He just
com-
possessed her.
Yeah, but
like Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure if that's.
He could have been just
Canon,
gaslighting her.
but-
yeah.
However,
He could just be gaslighting her, but
Yeah.
I think, considering the events and the other Candyman we watched, I feel like that's the implication.
well, there is a part where she's
Oh,
strapped to the chair. There's a part where
yeah.
she's strapped to the chair and Candyman shows up and kills a psychiatrist.
Right.
Okay, so
And
what is
then-
going on?
and
So I
then-
think it's a little bit of both.
and then
Sometimes he's in the
Freezer.
physical world, sometimes he's not.
I think he does it, and then he makes it look like she does it, so that she'll have to need him.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he basically is like, your whole world's fucked. Come with me.
please,
Like,
be
if
my
you don't-
white woman.
He's like, if you don't come with me, you're just gonna you're gonna rot in jail or whatever, right?
Right.
So you got to come with me, otherwise you're just gonna be, put to death or whatever,
That's
whatever
right.
happens, right?
So she hears the baby crying. Baby is in a giant pile of garbage in the middle of the neighborhood. She climbs into the giant pile of garbage to get the baby. Candyman also follows her into the giant pile of garbage. And then the neighborhood hears Candyman in there and decides to light it on fire because they decide
Well, it
they're
is set up.
finally going to kill Candyman.
It is set up for the annual bonfire, is what that
Oh, was
pile
it?
of garbage is. Yeah, they were gonna burn off a bunch of trash.
Oh, okay.
What?
hmm
I missed that again, dude. There's
I missed
random
that part
things I
too,
missed.
yeah, I missed it
why?
too.
Why are they burning trash?
They-
This is tradition.
They talk about it more in the new one,
Oh.
but it is it's also in the original the written story originally
Oh.
has a bonfire happening. But we'll get into that too. But anyway, yeah. So she goes in to save the baby from the pile of trash. Candyman's like, I'm gonna get you, bitch, and then they're like, there she is. She's in there. They don't know the baby's in there,
Mm-hmm.
so they're like, burn the witch.
And they light it on fire. She makes it out of the fire,
Hey.
saves the baby, but dies.
And as her final gesture is
Mhm.
while she's burned and dying, she hands the baby to the mother, and before she dies,
Mhm.
Candyman burns in the bonfire.
Oh
Mhm.
my god.
And then the extra thing, if you see to the very end, no one's at her funeral except for just a couple of people, because everyone thinks he's a murderer, but the entire
Mhm.
black community shows up, and the woman with her baby,
Mhm.
and they show up to honor
Yeah.
her for saving the baby.
Which, funny enough, it
And
would
killing
be
Candyman.
yeah. There's a whole bunch of movies written in the 90s about the black community coming to honor a white person who's usually a teacher.
Yeah. She taught them a lot. That was
I think
cool.
everyone learned a lesson that day.
Yeah, I think
She's our white woman now.
I'm pretty sure Dangerous Minds is the year after this.
Yeah.
So it's like the non-horror version of. It's the one that Coolio did the soundtrack or did that song "Gangster's Paradise," and then they used that in the movie. It was like what introduced it to white people.
Yeah, and then somebody says Candyman 5 times in the mirror at the end, and then she comes out.
No, he says Helen.
Oh yeah, it says Helen.
Because he's just distraught.
husband,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's just distraught, and he's like, I can't believe it. Like he's finally tried to fuck away all his pain and sorrow of not dealing with the situation.
Helen.
Helen, and then she fucking shows up with the fucking gotcha.
She kills him,
Gotcha!
and she also kills the girl who honestly she didn't really do much wrong. Let's be real.
Yeah, but
No, she did. She did.
Nah, I mean, listen.
It wasn't her relationship.
She
She's
did-
not truly responsible.
Bro, she was picking out wallpaper with him while she was in fucking like for a day.
She was a murderer.
So what?
She's
You
been
don't come-
charged with several murders.
Here, let me help you with this.
And a possible kidnapping.
Let me help you with this, okay?
All right.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Dude,
Not to make fun of my voice.
your dude has a wife
Yeah.
who gets put in jail for murder, and then you show up the next day to help him pick out wallpaper. Now I agree.
You're helping him through a rough time.
Yeah. That's actually probably the best time to get wallpaper.
Yeah.
Maybe a little push you make you feel better.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, would have made.
Wait,
me
whose
feel
side are
better.
you on?
Yeah, I don't know.
None of them. They're all wrong.
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
bad.
No, I think she did the
The
least wrong.
baby's the only good person in this
I think
movie.
she
No,
did
wait, what
least
about the
amount
innocent
wrong.
black woman that died?
She was put in an uncomfortable. She was put in an impossible situation of having a murdered dog and a missing baby. She is off the hook for everything.
Yes.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Well, the other one that died too. Yeah.
I've never actually
you,
respected Zach more than that moment
I
right
didn't
there.
get the pun, but it's fine.
What do you
Off the
mean?
hook.
I
It's
didn't want to. Oh, off the hook.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ. You know, I try and I try and I try.
I don't like puns.
Nah,
I like some of Sean's puns.
Yeah, that's because mine are
But
good.
then when you make puns,
Fuck
I
you.
feel like you sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did the laugh thing afterwards.
You're
Yeah.
gonna bring yourself as low as Sean?
What if- yo, you're gonna take that from him? You're gonna take that from him, Sean? You know,
I'm sorry, Sean.
I was hoping he would leap
Dude, I'm
over
about
the
to
table.
rub. I was literally thinking about rubbing the mic with my face.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I was pissed
Don't
off.
do it because then
Just
that
rub your
affects you
face
and
with
I
your hand.
too.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Rub his mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll rub something
Stop
else.
All right, we
All
got.
right. Well,
let's get
don't
into-
start jerking off right now.
You asked for it. I didn't want to do this.
You're making me do it.
All right, you guys ready to get into it?
Have we not?
We have been pretty deep. in it.
I mean, we gotta get into the
fun
into-
facts?
Yeah.
Oh,
Get into
nah.
the fun facts, baby.
I like you're like, dude, the movie itself. Who gives a shit? The fun facts is
That's
where.
what that's where the fucking good stuff
That's
is.
where we start. Now,
Yeah.
let me give us the first fun fact.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, we got to talk about everybody who made the movie first.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I wanted to know what race is the director.
Well, as may not shock you to have filmed a movie in 1992 where the protagonist is the white savior at the end.
Oh,
what
yeah,
race
I
do
guess he
you
was a
think?
white savior.
he
White.
is? You got it, Sean.
Nah, I knew it.
Yeah.
Bernard
He was
Rose.
one of the good ones.
That's true because Bernard Rose is a gentleman from the UK.
Oh,
And,
that's a red flag.
Well,
It's a little bit of a red flag.
hold on. Not everybody from the UK. It's like the South, you know. Not everybody's bad there from there, you know.
No,
I
not
know.
at all.
Yeah, whatever. Fucking.
Okay. So Bernard Rose, he is the director of this film. He also did the screen adaptation for it from Clive Barker's story, The Forbidden.
Mm.
And Clive Barker, as everyone listening right now knows, wrote Hellraiser, and that is probably his most famous of all his his works. Sean has not seen Hellraiser,
No.
and that is a failure on my part, and I agree.
I haven't seen Hellraiser either.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a failure on Ray's part.
It is a failure on my part.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but Sean, I'll take the blame.
Yeah,
on
so
Sean.
you two are at fault. I'm in the right.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
so The Forbidden was actually written before Hellraiser, which also I believe has a different name. So
Forbidden.
we are actually starting Sean on the first film adaptation of, or the first piece that was written by
Clive
Barker. Yes,
Barker.
So that
Clive Barker.
that was later to be adapted. So now you know that.
Okay.
Guy who
Okay.
wrote Hellraiser, very important. I met him briefly in 2019 at Spooky Empire, and he was a perfect gentleman. And we were just in an elevator together, and he was a super nice dude.
Clive?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm.
And our buddy Sareth actually, was actually a intern with him. And
Whoa.
yeah,
What about, what was the other guy named? Bernard?
yeah, Bernard Rose.
Bernard Rose.
Bernard Rose. Now, Bernard Rose had actually directed the music video for Red Red Wine by UB40.
Ooh, okay, he is one of the good ones.
There you
Huh?
go. Oh, it's a great-
Hey, yo, wait, hold on.
I like that we only use that phrase in terms of white people.
Yo, hold on.
Yeah, he also directed a movie called Smart Money, which is a hacker movie from '86. So if you can imagine what hacking was like in '86.
hacked into the dollar bill. I'm gonna increase it by 3.
Did you say hacked into the dollar bill?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's how it exactly how it works.
He also directed a 20. Stop. He also directed a 20. A 2015 adaptation of Frankenstein, which I would like to see because that also has Tony Todd in it. So I think that would be fun. But a fun fact that ties into our Army of Darkness Patreon episode, check it out if you haven't already.
Yeah.
He was just hanging out and he played a fake shimp on Army
What?
of Darkness.
Really?
Because that
Oh.
was, if I'm not mistaken, that was filmed around the same time as this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the 90s.
I think it was the year before is when they filmed Army of Darkness.
91.
Yeah. So he actually played one of the fake shimps in Army of Darkness. One
Whoa.
of the zombies. So,
Whoa.
pretty sick, huh?
Yeah.
How about that?
As opposed to playing a real chimp.
Shimp.
Shimp?
You think I said chimp?
Yeah. The fuck?
You remember any monkeys in any Evil Dead movies?
No. I
Now-
was very
now-
confused.
now-
I thought it was a
arguably-
background thing, like maybe.
Arguably, maybe there should be. Could be some monkeys.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what that movie's lacking the most.
monkeys.
Well, actually, not
Yeah.
to get on a very tangential thing, but there is undead monkeys, right? From that one. I saw this movie during the pandemic. I think it was British, with like a guy that's alone. In the
28 days later.
yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, they're not undead. That's a virus, but yes,
Okay.
correct. They are in a zombie-like state.
Thank
Okay,
you.
moving on.
So I was right.
The composer for this film is Philip Glass. Philip Glass did the.
Philip Glass.
Oh my god!
With what? Bro's name is
I didn't even think about that.
Bro's name is an action.
Yeah.
It's a request.
Bro's a living verb.
You know, I was gonna make a whole thing about how we gotta not spend so much time on people's names, but this one I
Yeah,
can't
Philip
ignore. I
Glass.
feel like I can't
Philip
stop.
Glass is
Philip
pretty.
Glass.
Remember during the It Follows episode, you guys
Yeah.
were like, "How dare that guy have 3 first names?" And that was like 5 minutes of the episode.
Oh, thank God. Dude.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. So
Oh, we'll keep it short.
Yeah.
I
We'll keep
mean,
it short.
you know, I knew a guy named Les Moore.
Really?
Yeah.
Less more.
Yeah,
That's
and it's
pretty
like,
good.
and then of course he was like a massive alcoholic. It's like, yeah, man, you've you set him up for failure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This guy didn't know what direction to go.
I like when he catches himself.
He does that pause.
Yeah. But he does it audibly. He go, All right, so he is a composer, an incredible score on the
Yeah.
'92 film. He did Hamburger Hill. We don't need to talk more about him.
Okay.
He did a series
I'm
of
fine.
films called one from '82 and then one from 2002. I don't know how to say it right. I remember I got shown this in school in my film class, but it was I'm gonna try to say it. Canisquatasi.
Candyman.
Canisquatasi.
Candace Watasi.
Candace
Candace
Watasi.
Owens.
Candace Watasi?
Yeah. Anyway, so he had these two films 30 years apart. That the one from '82 shows it's just a score. So I mean, it's almost like a hour and a half reel that he made for how good of a composer he is.
Yeah.
But it's basically from '82, and it shows all of the destruction of the planet and like time lapse while he scores it, and it's pretty wild. And at the end, it's like, hey, fix this shit or we're all gonna die. And then 30 years later, he noticed that people weren't fixing the shit. And so in 2002, he did a follow-up film with an equally difficult name to say. And
Go for it. It's okay.
Nikoi Katasi.
Good shit, dog.
Thank you.
Nice.
That's how
And
you
then
say
he
it.
stopped doing stuff like that. He did The Fog of War, which is a documentary all about how the Vietnam War was staged in its initial attack. We should move on. I don't know why we're talking so much about this dude. I'm so sorry.
No, this is
on
good.
me.
I'm
This is-
interested.
It just seems like a lot of anyway. It's Stranger Things. He did the score for. He I think I could be wrong, but I think all the seasons of Stranger Things he's done the score for.
This score was really good though.
Feels like that's all I needed to say. Feels like there's a lot of effort to get to Stranger
Kate
Things.
Bush running up that hill. He made that?
He's actually Kate Bush.
This guy's good.
His name is Anthony B. Richmond.
That's pretty cool.
Never mind, that's the cinematographer. Sorry, his name's Philip Glass. We already talked about that.
Philip
Glass.
Oh, shit.
Do you know what that reminds me of?
God, I'm gonna have to edit
Like,
this for you. This is awful. I'm
Filling up a
sorry.
glass. Stop. Sorry.
It's fine.
Dude.
I'm getting
no, we're doing
self-conscious
good.
now.
No, it's all right, dude. We're doing good.
We're doing great.
We got to talk about the cinematographer, Anthony B. Richmond. That's what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Cinematography on the 2021 version was obviously very heavily influenced by modern horror, it feels like.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But this guy has had a really wild career. He did Let It Be for the Beatles,
Yeah.
the video that they made for that. But he also did From Russia with Love. He was the clap loader, which is an interesting way to start a career. He just started. I don't know what the fuck a clap loader is, but I'm assuming it has something to do with
With the clapper?
yeah.
Yeah, you like clap into a jar and then you seal it, and then later when you open it, it goes.
That's correct.
That's
back
good.
up.
That's correct. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and I got to work overtime tonight. They got a big long shooting day tomorrow.
I gotta fill up all these jars with claps.
Oh my god, my apartment's a mess. I got hundreds of jars filled with claps, some louder than others.
I'm just so tired of claps. I go to work, clap. I come home, my wife starts clapping for me.
I have the clap. I have the clap. I gave it to my wife.
I was wondering how long it was going to take. I was like, I thought he'd start there.
Yeah.
And he started with claps in a glass.
Well,
Okay, first of all, you dude,
yeah.
this is the problem with Zach.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm going to go straight into the clap.
He doesn't understand
Yeah.
the build-up,
Yeah.
the rule of threes. I already announced 2. He did the third one.
I feel like you did more than 3.
Yeah.
No.
Wouldn't
no.
you?
I
You
said-
know,
I
why don't you
said-
read your facts, little
fill the clap jars.
fun fact boy? Dude, thank God Ray laughed because I got nervous.
You can feel me burning a hole in you.
I was like, don't look at the cameras.
It was the head movement. That got me.
Yeah, can you clip that where I'm like... but you too could get into film production, and you could start as the clap loader from Russia with Love, and then end at Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds,
Well, I'm
where he
glad
wears a
his
fat suit.
career didn't take a nosedive.
Correct. He became a cinematographer. He did The Sandlot.
That's
You know,
good.
you're killing me, Smalls. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen The Sandlot.
I haven't.
What?
I haven't.
Never
Really?
seen The Sandlot?
I don't know what it is.
That's crazy. What?
I have no idea what it is.
What the
Okay,
fuck?
now shut the hell up. I don't like that. He played us for fools, Zach. He played us for fools.
It
You've
does
seen
feel
it.
like, yeah.
No,
Are
I
you
swear to
serious?
God, I've never seen it.
But you
Oh
know
my
what
God.
it is.
That's a classic,
No.
dog. All right.
Shut up. Yes, you do. Read the facts, honestly.
You're making Sean angry. Sean never gets angry. Sean has
Over a movie.
Sean hasn't been
nonetheless.
angry since Death Spa.
Despacito. Why don't we?
Death Spa sequel. Okay. He was the cinematographer for Tales from the Hood,
Shit.
which we got to cover at some point. Nope.
You can't do this. Black History Month.
Oh, my bad. I forgot.
And also Legally Blonde, which I think is the polar opposite of Tales from the Hood. All right. Jesus Christ. I can't believe this is 33 minutes. It's so fucking insane. Holy shit. All right, we got to move on. Oh, my God. All right.
Shit, Legally Blonde. Hey, Candyman would have liked that movie. You say, hey, what's her name? Shit, I'm trying to come back from the dead and have sex with her.
Because he likes white women.
White women.
All right, yeah.
Blonde white women.
Mm-hmm.
Both.
He does like blondes.
No, literally, that's the point, is that she looks like him. Her.
Yeah.
The first lady.
Right.
This is
That she's a
the...
blonde white woman.
Yeah.
God, that is... I don't know.
What do you not know?
You upset about something?
No, he forgot what he was
I just
going
think
to
it's...
say.
I'm like, why did he go through all this trouble just to... He's like,
Over
man,
white women, dog.
I don't
Yeah.
need to come back. He's like, man, I got to kill all these people. He's like, I got to kill an innocent person.
Yeah, he's like, there's no good ghost pussy out there. Like,
I thought he should have gotten revenge and like killed some like racist dads.
That's that's what you should have done.
now to be fair, it does feel like coming back to life just to fuck some white girls is a pretty good get back. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I can't say I wouldn't do it myself. What a plan, you know? Maybe not the way he's going
Well,
about
just
it.
because
It's a
you
little
guys
rough.
are
Yeah.
white, you don't understand the weight of being a minority and fucking a white woman. You don't understand.
No, he's right.
What it
Actually, I mean,
means.
there's
No, but I do understand. That's why I'm saying that would be
No, Zach,
the
you don't.
impactful.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm saying
No,
that
you don't get it.
I'm saying that's
Please-
why you would
You've
do
never
it.
been a minority and fucked a white woman.
yeah,
Have
with
you?
a lot
Oh.
of details.
Oh,
Please
yeah,
tell
yeah.
us the weight. I want to
It's,
be there.
Yeah,
No, I
it's
mean-
just like you're disappointing her father with every stroke. You know, it's like
Whoa,
it's fantastic.
you wouldn't get that.
Right, that's
You
what
wouldn't get that,
that's what-
especially if they're southern.
that's
and
what I'm
racist.
saying. You come back and you do it. What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're getting mad for.
Dude. Okay, wow.
right.
That was, can I just say, on behalf of all us whites on this side of the table, Ray, I am sorry. What?
Oh my god!
I thought that we were going to have a dialogue. I thought we were going to have
Honestly,
a
it just-
conversation.
It always devolves into yelling with you guys.
Yeah. No, let's go back to the fun facts, because clearly things got a little serious.
Oh my god!
A little
All right.
serious.
So Tony Todd, recently passed away this last year, but he lives on in the 8+ projects he still has going on.
What?
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah,
man, dude, he is the hardest working human
Jesus.
being in show business, I think. I mean, that's crazy, dude. Like, he 250 roles.
That's wild.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I don't even know if that's counting the 8 that are about to come out that he's still. He's in the new Final Destination that's not even out yet.
Wow.
So he's in every single Final Destination film, I think. Or what was
No, he's in the first two.
3 and 4. He's not, right?
And then not 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6, which 6 is a new one coming out.
Right. Well, he's been in film for a long time. He started in Platoon in '86. There was a long series of Vietnam movies that came out in the '80s. People kind of dealing with the loss of so many people that died in Vietnam, and it was like 55,000 plus American soldiers, and a lot of those guys went when they were young. So one of the movies where they dealt with it was Hamburger Hill, but the other one was Platoon, which is Oliver Stone. And Tony Todd's in that. He also was in the remake of Night of the Living Dead, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Didn't get the love it deserved, but Tony Todd did a great job. So if you ever get a chance to watch that, even if you don't like the whole thing, his performance is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, Tony Todd's great, dude.
Yeah, he was in The Crow. He was in Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. He was in The Rock. He was in Wishmaster. He was in Hatchet and
Hatchet?
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Wait, like the book?
No,
Oh.
there's a horror movie called Hatchet,
Oh.
which I also was
I
like,
vaguely
oh,
remember the book.
Yeah, they make you read it in
Yeah.
like middle school.
Yeah, everyone has to, because
Yeah.
I could survive a plane crash if I was in the wilderness.
Yeah.
With a hatchet?
Yeah, with a hatchet
I think I could.
that
do
my stepdad gave me or something, right? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Now I didn't put in all the my stepdad. I didn't put all the movies in that have the the lesser known kind of B straight to video movies that he's done.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of those because a man's got to eat,
Yeah.
and we don't fault him for that. But one name that I wrote that I felt like you guys had to hear was just a movie called Bitch Ass,
Nice.
Hell yeah.
which I love.
Oh, that reminds me of this one scene that I liked in this movie when she's identifying the guy, and they were like, "Wait, that was this movie, right? Not the remake?"
It was this one.
Yeah, we glossed over that part where there was a fake Candyman gangster.
Oh yeah. in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, we didn't cover that where he just goes by Candyman, and then they go to the station. They have a bunch of guys say, I heard you were looking for the Candyman, bitch."
Yeah.
And they just keep saying it over and over. I'm like, damn, maybe, I don't know. I feel bad for her. Like, she's hearing that over. She just hears them call it to her like 5 times. She's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
It was him. All right, stop saying that.
You said number 5. Say it again more aggressively and
Yeah,
louder
yeah.
and come in here.
Yeah, can you look her in the eyes this time?
Yeah.
And then I thought that was funny that he, sorry to go on a tangent about it, but he came back afterwards and he was like, well, he was keeping my name alive. All right. And you know this
Yeah.
whole thing. You got to stay relevant.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now I'm gonna have to actually kill people for real because you took that guy away. It's like, what?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
gangster was the only reason you weren't coming back?
Yeah, he was holding him
Oh,
at bay.
yeah.
He was like, yeah, he was sort of keeping my name out there on the streets. I want people to know about me.
I didn't really have to do much.
Yeah.
He was like kind of my A&R guy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I'd like that for like, I don't like, you know, social media. You always gotta be like staying
Yeah.
relevant, guys. What if we just had a podcast of people that just like, called themselves reasonably afraid and then just directed traffic to us?
Oh.
Well, that was the 90s way of getting your reel out there was you showed up and said, hey, what's up? I'm Candyman. And then you sold him some crack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hooray.
Yeah.
Makes you think.
Makes you think. So the woman who played Helen, that's Virginia Madsen, sister of Michael Madsen, who was in Kill Bill. Basically, just about anything that Tarantino's made, almost all of his films, Michael Madsen's been in.
And we got his sister.
Yep, we got his sister, Virginia Madsen. She was in the original Dune from '84,
Oh.
the one with that David Lynch directed. She was in a Depeche Mode video, but not tonight. She was in a movie called Zombie High from '87, American Gun, Scooby Doo in Where's My Mummy, which
Whoa.
I'm pretty sure was animated, right?
Yeah.
bro,
One
yeah,
of the voices for that, yeah.
Where-
And then she was in Sideways, also
Whoa.
the Paul Giamatti movie from '04.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, she's had a pretty great career. She does a fantastic job in this film. I don't think anybody in this movie, there's not a weak moment
No, I
from
thought
the
it was
cast, the crew, like everything about this movie is just like kind of flawless in my opinion.
Yeah.
At least in terms of execution.
Yeah.
We'll get into some of the critique stuff in a moment, but there's a couple of people who had some issues.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what
I
was
mean,
that?
it's still a white savior at the end.
Yeah.
Of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah. It's one of those.
You can't really get away from that part.
Right. It's one of those. Yeah, we'll get into it. So Cassie Lemons, she played Bernadette, the black friend that gets murdered. She was in Vampire's Kiss, Silence of the Lambs in '91, which was like kind of her big breakout. Hard Target.
Vampire's Kiss is that the Nick Cage movie?
Yeah. Yeah, that is the Nick Cage movie.
If you ever want to
It's
see
so
a
insane.
fucking wild,
I'm a vampire.
it is the
What?
most wild
Dude.
Nicolas Cage performance you'll ever watch
It's
in your
nuts.
life.
It's
It
insane.
is so fucking ridiculous.
That's funny because I was thinking about him a lot during these movies because I used to keep thinking, "They're not the bees, not the bees."
yeah.
Not the best.
Oh yeah, and she was in Hard Target, which is the Van Damme action flick, which Sam Raimi produced.
Yeah.
That's fun. And then she later went on to direct a film about Harriet Tubman from 2019. She directed an episode of Luke Cage.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she directed a film called Talk to Me from 2007, not the same as the one we covered, obviously. And Eve's Bayou from 97. So she's she's been busy.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she really, her career really fucking, really got in it, dude.
Yeah.
She really got in the nitty gritty. Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Respect.
Vanessa Williams plays the mother who loses the child, or who the child gets taken from her. She was in Parents Just Don't Understand, the Fresh Prince DJ Jazzy Jeff music video.
Hell yeah.
So she's in New Jack City, and then a shitload of episodes of Days of Our Lives and the show Soul Food. And our final cast member thing to mention, the character of Billy, who's one of the people getting interviewed at the staff that gets interviewed about the urban legend stuff. That's Ted Raimi. Old sweat boy himself, Ted Raimi.
Wait.
Billy.
Old, remember Henrietta, fucking cups of styrofoam cups of sweat.
I know
Henrietta.
what you're talking about, but like I can't remember where in the movie he was.
Yeah, it's like right at the beginning when they're doing all the interviews and everything with the before they go to Cabrini Green. I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the character of Billy, who's one of the people there.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
What's he doing there?
Yeah, just hanging out.
Does he know black people?
Yeah.
Now he does.
Good for him. It's always
That's
nice
sick, man.
when white people just get in there.
You gotta get in
Get in
there.
there.
You gotta get in
Yeah, I don't
there.
feel weird about it. Just get in there.
Oh, by the
Just gotta
way,
jump right in.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like a pool.
But
Mm-hmm.
so before we jump into the fun facts, which is what we're going to do now, I do want to say that I couldn't find a regular director's commentary of the 1992 version of this. The only one that I could find, at least online, I'm sure there's probably one out there, but the only one that I could find on YouTube where they rip the DVD commentary and just put it to like still photos is the 2018 4K Ultra Steelbook release, where they brought Tony Todd and Bernard Rose back into the studio to do another one of these, because I guess they've already done these before. And they've also done 1 million panels at all the horror conventions, and they've so for them, I mean, they are talked out. I mean, they've done it for 40 years. So you can feel it. I mean, it's literally like listening to a podcast of just the two of them. They sit down in the studio. They barely talk about the movie. I mean, it's if you were looking for fun facts, do not listen to this. If you want to listen to Tony Todd and Bernard Rose complain about how everybody's too soft,
What?
and it's also before they even had started production on the new Candyman.
Hard Target. That was a movie.
Jean-Claude Van Damme fucks a woman and kicks somebody in the face. That's a fucking movie.
Why don't you see that anymore, man?
I don't know why I did that accent. Bernard Rose is English.
At
That's
some
a
point-
fucking movie.
At some point, Bernard Rose is just like, you can't even write the N-word in the scripts anymore. And then Tony Todd's like, say it. Say it.
Oh, they get.
Oh.
I mean,
Well,
they,
I'm just saying, mate.
I'll say it.
I mean, they get into politics and everything. But-
you hear a chair get thrown?
Yeah.
You're like, what is going on in this commentary?
There's a great
I'll
part.
fucking say it, mate. Oh, I'm not afraid here.
There's a great part where
Sorry, Bernard's a good guy.
Bernard's a good guy.
Bernard's a good guy.
Bernard's one of the good ones.
He's
he is
one of the good ones.
And here's where we're gonna start with
We're
that.
just joking. We know Bernard's not a racist.
Yeah, we know you, Bernard.
Yeah.
Here's one of the ways that you know Bernard is one of the good ones. The initial story by Clive Barker, The Forbidden, takes place in Liverpool in the UK.
Oh.
And it's about the class income disparity that takes place there. So it's actually about a poor man who loves a rich woman, and he's attacked by her family. So it's the same story, but it doesn't involve the American racism. But when they got the rights from Clive Barker to do it, Bernard Rose was like, hey, I would like to Americanize this for what I feel would be the American version of your story taking place in the UK, which would involve not only the class structure, but the racial structure, because that's all kind of intertwined. And then he said it, and Clive Barker's like, love it, absolutely. And so Bernard Rose purposely repurposed that story to deal with the plight of Black Americans,
Mm,
and that's why Bernard Rose is cool as fuck.
cool guy.
Respect.
Respect. We respect you, Bernard.
You see,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about earlier.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you do earlier?
I don't know. I feel like I implied that he says the N-word sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You don't say that.
he doesn't care.
He
I mean, he
doesn't.
might. Who knows? But
Yeah.
but if he does, keep it to yourself, Bernard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I
don't.
feel like if he's got enough black friends, some of them were like, we would like to hear you say it with the
Yeah,
accent.
with the accent.
It'd be funny.
It'd be cool, especially after you made Candyman.
Everybody,
Yeah.
turn your phones off.
Yeah.
This one's for us.
Yeah.
But one
Awful
thing
food in the UK, man.
we don't need to get into
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Nah,
We'll let you do just a clip about that in the middle of the
Yeah.
episode. So you just
Yeah.
let me know what chunk.
and
you did.
Ray's right, but we'll let it sit.
We'll let it sit.
But you are right.
Thank you.
the issue of we'll start there. The issue of the white savior
Yes.
and the issue of what is arguably problematic about the film in terms of the retrospect of looking back at it and going, hey, maybe if you want to make a story about the plight of Black Americans, maybe don't make the protagonist a white lady.
Wait, but
Right.
how?
Well, how would you get? Yeah, how would you get white people connected
Now,
to the story?
now here's what's
if
here's
they're
what's,
not in it.
Yeah. Here's what's sad, but honest about the time. In '92, there really, I mean, you had Spike Lee and a few other people, but there really wasn't a ton of people
Right.
that Hollywood was letting come through. So at the time, the only way to get these stories out was to make sure you at least were casting some black people,
Mm-hmm.
and then everybody who was involved was like, fairly progressive usually in trying to get out a message
Right.
of like, hey, you other white people. It's like white people speaking to white people,
Mhm.
being like, you need to get your shit together. Things aren't great. And and so as much as of course we would all in retrospect would love to say, hey, Bernard Rose, maybe let someone who's black do this. At the time, it's short of a few people who were able to make films at that time, at least on this level, the opportunity might not have come. And so as much as it sucks to have it done in this way, in some ways, it's also the thing that got out this message to a
Yeah.
lot of people who in 1992 probably needed to hear it.
Yeah, it was the '90s.
Unfortunately.
The '90s. What are you gonna do?
And also Bernard Rose being English, being from the UK, he was his perspective on it was also different. Where like he saw it as like from the outside and was
Right.
just like, oh, it's so obvious. Like, and that's how most of the rest of the world views our racial issue, right?
Mhm.
In this country, it's like, oh, this is obvious. You guys are being ridiculous. These people are clearly being put in a situation that is unfair to them. So if you're not going to fix it, then they make some art about it to try and get somebody to fix it, right?
Yeah.
So like his view on it was like,
I'm sorry. We did. Well, actually, no, the U.S. did too. I was gonna say colonize half the world, England.
Yeah.
Oh,
not
but
great.
no. Oh, looking at it from the outside, mate.
Well, they did stop chattel slavery. Actually, no, they never had chattel slavery in the UK, and then they stopped slavery about 50 years before the U.S. So there was that.
When
Anyway.
did they do that?
50
When did
years
they
is a
do
long
that?
time.
I believe the early 1800s. So it would have been about 50 years. Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? And then they still
Give or
held
take.
colonies for another 150.
Yeah, not great. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of blame to go around.
You know what, Bernard? I'm not so sure about you anymore. I'm fucking no, dude. I'm on the fence.
I mean, he's not royalty, so he doesn't really have much decisions or anything.
Well, I need to project it onto someone
Okay.
within
Okay.
reach.
Well, at least you're honest. There were some issues that the NAACP had meetings with Bernard Rose and
Holy-
with the studio
Okay.
because the
All right,
studio.
Bernard.
Yeah.
I'm back on your side.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure he was doing some justice, but also the studio wanted to make sure that their asses were covered because
Right.
they're looking at it from more of like a blowback standpoint.
Yeah.
And even though it did still get some blowback from some black leaders and others, like where people were saying like these are using these tropes of how white people see black people.
Mm-hmm.
But in Bernard Rose's mind, he was like, yeah, I'm using that to show white people how they're using the boogeyman of the ghetto, right, as a scapegoat for everything, which is kind of his whole thing about it, where he's like, you're blaming all this stuff, but it's all stuff that you created, right?
Right.
So to his credit, he was his view on that was not to show a stereotype; it was to show the way that white people see something
Stereotype.
and then push it back on them, like mirror it to them.
Okay.
So, which is smarter than I think he's realizing a lot of people who need to hear the message are, but that's fine.
Yeah. And a lot of them aren't seeing that.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, I saw it.
All right, you guys ready? Fun facts. Let's jump in because we gotta knock this out. We've been
Fun. Oh my God. We're in another movie.
yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We're good.
We'll go. Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, sorry, we like to have conversation about the movie. People stop yelling at us.
Yeah,
We
don't.
like to have a little fun. We like to talk about Hamburger Helper and the atrocities they've committed.
Yeah. Well, no, they
I
were
want to cut out
spreading
that,
awareness.
but leave that part that you just said. But I cut out the other part. It's contextless hamburger helper.
Hey.
Okay, so this was shot on location in the Caprini Green projects. They actually filmed there, and the way that they were able to do that was this is the actual projects in Chicago. So they went to some of the gang members and they said, would you guys like to be extras?
Uh-huh.
And also make sure that everything's on the up and up and everybody here is safe from other people who may want to come in and cause harm, but also from, potentially from yourselves if you were planning on doing anything. So they paid them to be extras and also in a sort of subtle way, a little nod security,
Wow.
which is cool as fuck, kind of.
That is pretty fucking
That's cool.
So the gang members that you see that are like the people who are harassing them at the beginning when they're going into that building in the Caprini Green
was real.
projects, those were really gangsters.
That's
That's
a fuck.
awesome.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
That's a fun fact.
That's a fun fact.
They do that for rap videos. Usually the rapper does that for rap videos, but it's
Yeah.
cool for this British guy comes like, "Oi, oi!"
Yeah. Which one of you cunts wants to make sure we don't get shot?
And who's gonna let me say it?
Listen, bruv.
I am
Oi,
most
bruv.
psycho.
Oh, bruv.
Oi, bruv. Let's make sure everybody here is safe. Yeah. So that's pretty cool that they did that. The mirror thing, the medicine cabinet mirror thing, this is based on a true story. There was a housing project in Chicago where a dude was breaking into those hallways that they show that are like these empty hallways between sections of the building. Dude was actually like breaking holes in the wall and crawling in through people's bathroom mirrors. It's a real
That's
thing.
crazy.
That was part of the story that he had read, Bernard Rose, because Bernard Rose went down on his own before writing the script. He got the idea and about how to kind of convert the story, and then went just into the hood by himself just to like look around, and then read news articles and stuff. So
Dude, I really like this guy. He's
Yeah.
really just like doesn't give a fuck.
Bernard
bro.
Rose is gangster as fuck. He
That's
refuses.
so cool.
He refuses to join any film units. He's like, "Fuck them. They're not doing anything for me. They're a bunch of fucking cowards."
Yeah.
he's a real dude. He doesn't fuck around.
Hell yeah.
Probably doesn't get a lot of work because of it, but he's a real ass dude.
Respect.
Yeah.
Fucking renegade, dude.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so the hook in the film, they got that made by a blacksmith. So it's a real metal hook. It's not or at least the one they use like for the standalone shots. Probably the attack ones, I assume, would be like a plastic one or something. But they had an actual hook made by a blacksmith who didn't know it was for a horror movie, and he actually kind of made a stink about it after he realized it was for this film, because he was a pretty devout Christian and was like, "Oh no, a horror movie. This is like."
Oh, go
Yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah, and they were like, "Too bad, we already paid you. Fuck off."
Yeah.
So he couldn't do anything about that. Virginia Madsen and Tony Todd.
It'd be crazy if he went to hell for that.
I know.
No, Susan fucked. Oh my
It's
god.
like, God, I didn't know.
I didn't know.
You should have done your research.
This is so fun.
Bernard.
they kill him. They like start chopping him up with the hook that he made.
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
You'd make a great devil.
that'd be pretty good.
That's a good idea, man.
Okay.
So Bernard Rose had Virginia Madsen and Tony Todd take ballroom dance lessons together to build their chemistry because he wanted there to be that, like, even though she's being terrorized, there is still like a sort of seduction, like almost like she's unable to fully stop herself in some ways, right? There's like this alluring thing about him that's not just his haunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need you guys to fall in love for this role.
Yeah.
Can you guys do that for me? Can you just fall in love with each other?
All right, now fuck on camera.
This one's just for me.
It's so sweet.
Oh, gotcha.
So this is where ballroom dance is like a pretty reasonable ask. They did start putting her into hypnosis for the scenes with Candyman because they thought that would like help it be even more impactful on screen. But after a while of hypnotizing Virginia Madsen for those rehearsals, she was like, "I'm deeply uncomfortable with this because I don't feel in control of myself," because she wasn't. And so they had to get rid of the hypnotist who, you know, poor guy. He was like fucking cash cow.
He did too good.
Yeah, he did
Too
too
good of a
good.
job.
Yeah.
I don't believe in any of that shit, but
It's like a Jedi mind trick, right? The more weak-minded you are, the easier you are to manipulate. And that's why when
never
people
mind. I believe in that now.
I just think I'm above
better
it.
bit than you'll get credit for right there. That was funny.
I actually didn't get it at first. That's nice.
Thank you.
Another person who had a problem with this film was Philip Glass, our old buddy Philip Glass.
Why?
Because he was a pretty traditional composer who had a lot of, you know, pretty big credits under his belt, and he thought he was writing this dark, beautiful score for some kind of, I don't know, dark romance called The Forbidden by Clive Barker, when it wound up being Candyman.
Yeah.
And so that was when he started to feel like he had been duped into some slasher.
kind of. How do you do the score without realizing? They just kept him in the dark on that? Damn.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's not a traditional slasher. Like it in the 90s, you know, early 90s, they were still kind of panning horror movies. So like it didn't get the credit it deserved early on, I think, from critics, I think. Since then, it's obviously been more revered. But anyway, so he's come around more recently, and he's gone like, yeah, I was a part of this very cool thing. But at the time, he was a fucking dickhead about it. But he came around, so that's the good news. Sandra Bullock was actually considered for Helen, which is pretty interesting.
That would have been so interesting.
Yeah. She instead did, was it Freedom?
Discontinuity?
Yeah, oh, I thought it was Freedom Writers or something.
Oh, Freedom Riders?
Another white savior movie. Also, the director's wife, Alexandra Pig. Don't.
Sorry.
That is a weird one.
Nah, don't.
That
Don't
is a weird
Don't
one.
talk about it.
To be fair, yeah, you never know how many crazy names there
I
are
don't think
until
it's
you
that
do
crazy.
a podcast about
I don't think
movies.
it's that crazy.
No? This is him going.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the next fun fact?
Is she married to a cop?
She's married to the director.
Oh. Who's not a cop?
Yeah.
That's correct. Bernard Rose is in the opposite of a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bernard Rose would never talk to the police. So.
Yeah, Bernard Rose seems like he's like got a cab like tattooed on him somewhere.
So she had been considered for the role, but she was pregnant. And originally, Virginia Madsen was going to play Bernadette, which means there would have been two white ladies.
Oh yeah, that would have been a problem.
But once they moved Virginia Madsen to the main character Helen, they were able to bring in a black actor to play the character of Bernadette.
That's good because,
So-
two white women. He's
Bit
just out
much.
here killing white women, dude.
Yeah, which
Like, come
I mean,
on,
hey,
dog.
get it in, but
Yeah.
there's a biblical reference here, the story of Samson, where the parents were dismayed at at Samson's Philistine wife, and when there's a young lion who's slayed, and the carcass breeds bees and honey.
Mm.
So it's like there's some biblical imagery in this that's kind of interesting that I didn't know about before this. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, see? Okay. The bees. We're gonna talk about the bees.
Yes.
Okay.
So Tony Todd had a very good lawyer because by this point Tony Todd was pretty established in film, and they said, "Hey man, we're gonna pour a bunch of bees into your mouth, and they're gonna be swarming around your head." And Tony Todd was like, "What's up?" And they were like, "Don't worry, they're gonna be baby bees, so the stingers are smaller, and they're also less likely to sting you because they're less aggressive. And also, we're gonna be spraying these pheromones on you guys so that they'll view you." Your smell will be similar to another bee, so they won't try to sting you. It'll be similar to like as if you were almost the queen. That would be the scent that they have, so they won't hurt you. And they were like, okay. And then they were like, but there is a part we're going to put a bunch in your mouth. And Tony Todd was like, no, hey, no. And they were like, don't worry, we're going to put a dental dam in there. Do you guys know what a dental dam is?
No.
It's a great line from the show Eastbound and Down with Danny McBride. Where he goes, if we fool around, you're wearing a fucking dental dam. And she goes, what's a dental dam? He goes, like a condom for your mouth, because I don't know where you've been, and you sure as shit don't know where I've been.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it's like a condom for your mouth. So they said, don't worry, we're gonna put a dental dam in your mouth. And then he's like, that's still not good enough. Like, what can we do? He's like, if I get stung, I want $1,000 per bee sting. He made $23,000.
Oh my God.
23 bee stings? Jesus.
23 bee stings inside his, well, I mean, presumably they weren't all in his mouth, but 23 bee stings while they did the dental dam scene. I think that might actually be through the entire filming process also, which is fucking wild. So,
Jesus.
Man, I wish I had $1,000 every time I got stung by a bee.
how many $1,000s would you have?
I still have nothing.
Really?
Wait, you've never been stung by a bee?
I've been stung by my
But he
entire
would
life.
seek it out.
Oh, yeah, you'd
Yeah.
be running around looking for bees.
I've been running
I
around
made
looking for bees.
$2,000, baby.
I've only been stung by a bee like once.
Really?
Twice.
Mm-hmm.
Twice here.
Yeah. I was in a water park in New Jersey. Action Park.
You went to Action Park?
I went to Action Park.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, like it was like a couple years before it closed down.
Have you seen the documentary? It's great.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I remember some of the because like they had the water park side of it, and
Yeah.
we went to the water park side. I remember there was one, like you took a rope and you just kind of just jumped off the cliff into the water, and I was like, I want to do that. My mom was like, absolutely fucking not.
If you're not familiar with Action Park, it's a water park where someone died in a slide.
Well, it's a
Multiple
water
people.
park and like a bunch of different like rides. It's America's first like theme park ish kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
It's insane.
They were just experimenting.
Yeah, it's a great documentary, but it is so enigmatic of the 80s of just like, yeah, you don't need any
Relax it.
safety,
Yeah.
anything, you know, just go through that slide that's supposed to loop, and if it doesn't, you just fall on your neck, and that's fine.
Yeah.
To collect the bees, you may be asking yourself, how do you let a bunch of bees loose on set and then get them all back? Well, they have bee vacuums. They're specially made vacuums that are meant to suck up bees without hurting them. They use them for bee wrangling. So they use them in the film, and
As
so
opposed to
there's-
A wrangling.
Yeah. You like that? You like that shit? Huh?
Oh, that was great.
John Dolan, everybody.
I just stole that from you.
Yeah, you did. It's fine.
Your hype man got all the.
He hyped me up.
You like that shit?
He got so hyped. I felt like I had to get behind him.
Well, it took 30 to 45 minutes every time they would have to put bees on people, and you weren't allowed to. You couldn't like go do stuff. You had to like stand there and wait so that you didn't like take one of these, because the bee would like follow you because of the pheromones. So they had to like wait to get all the bees sucked off them before they could do anything. So
They just suck off every single bee first.
I knew it. As soon as I said it, I was like, I had like volleyball in my head. Like, there you go, Sean. Go ahead. Yeah, they had to suck off a lot of bees.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Uh,
There was some people that say that the legend of Bloody Mary, because obviously the hook hand thing and the Bloody Mary thing are what came together to create the mythos for Candyman. But there was some debate about that 13 times was supposed to be the amount of times that you say the name in some circles. People said it was 13 for Bloody Mary, and so it should be 13 for Candyman.
That's
ridiculous.
so
That's
many
ridiculous.
times.
That's ridiculous.
It's way too. If 5 feels like too much when you're watching the movie, you're like, this
Yeah.
is enough.
3. I thought it was 3.
I thought it was 3. Growing up, when I heard
Yeah.
Bloody Mary stories, everyone said 3.
Yeah, everybody did 3 for Bloody
That's why
Mary.
she never came. We need to do it 10 more times.
Yeah.
So- oh wait, so it is real?
That's also why she's killing people.
Yeah.
Because she never came.
Oh.
She was
But
angry.
she didn't kill people though.
If you would have
right?
just let her come, you'd have been fine, you know.
Yeah.
You think that was it?
The studio? Just some evidence about the issue. Sorry, did you have something?
No.
Okay.
Keep going.
Just some evidence of what we were talking about with like studios being uncomfortable with
Your
telling.
mom. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Unfucking believable. This is an hour 10. You believe this?
Is that are we really on
Oh,
that?
and then my one thing I said right there is what sold it. Now you're fucking 30 facts you showed on you piece of shit.
The studio actually cut down some of the moments of the two of them together in like the embrace and all that stuff. Like there's a lot of moments where they were like, and the studio was like, all right, a little too much of the white lady with the black guy.
Yeah.
So just
This
a
movie's
reminder.
2.5 hours, and why do we need 40 minutes of foreplay? I don't really understand.
Yeah, Bernard Rose is like, I just want to watch him fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Um,
Spent a little money on this.
so
There's no interracial porn in the UK.
all right,
This is good stuff.
these two are quick. 200,000 bees were used.
That's it.
Which
So,
is
next one.
That's it.
That don't impress me much.
Yeah, these are too many fun facts. Nothing affects them anymore.
Fucking 200,000, 300,000, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Talk to me when it gets to 50,000 gallons of blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Thank you.
for Lost fans out
Okay.
there. If you're a fan of the
Yes,
show
I
Lost,
am.
there's a couple, and their names are Bernard and Rose, named after Bernard
Arden
Rose.
Rose.
Bernard Rose, the director.
Are they a black and white couple?
They are. Lost.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Because he
the,
loves interracial porn so much.
the guy is the white one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you knew that.
Yeah.
Great.
So Lost was like the first show I saw.
Bernard and Rose. You would think maybe the guys.
Yeah.
I guess there could be a black
There could
Bernard
be
and a white
there could
Rose.
be a
Sure.
black
You know what?
Bernard.
Yeah, if they ever do a reboot of Lost, they should
Yeah.
switch
swap.
it. Yeah.
I agree.
Very last fun fact. Tony Todd died last year, and Virginia Madsen left a very sweet thing on her Twitter for him where she said, "My beloved, may you rest in power, sweets to the sweet, in heaven, I love you."
Aw.
And I a little choked up thinking about it.
Yeah.
Fucking good.
It's really
That's
beautiful.
good shit, man.
I hope there's some white women that write that for me when I
Yeah.
die.
Hey, man. Man, I fucking feel that dog.
Oh,
I hope
yeah,
so, too.
baby. Fuck yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel like the remake kind of feels like Candyman covers it. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think we should just talk. Or not the remake. Sorry. It's not a remake. It's a sequel.
It's a sequel.
I kind of feel like we don't need to cover it in the way that we just covered Candyman. We
Let's
can
just talk about it.
Yeah, we
we
can just talk about it.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
have facts?
Yeah, but we can keep it light, you know. And
Yeah.
Because I think that we don't need to get as
Mention anything with Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Jordan Peele is the producer of the film. He
There
was
you
a
go.
co-writer with the director of the film, Nia DaCosta, who was
What race?
she's black,
Nice.
which is great, and because it's also a way to take the Candyman story and put it in the perspective and the hands of black artists. Which
Well, that's what I was saying to Ray earlier. I was
Right.
like, this one does feel at least more like addressing racism and like
From a
in
real place.
an authentic
Right.
way, and it's like.
Yeah.
It touches on the things a little better, where the other
Right.
one was
Yeah.
like, that's I've made the joke about like, he's like, you're just Candyman being obsessed with white women, man.
Well, also
You know.
like the whole thing of like her going into like Helen goes. It's sort of like the white experience, right?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
goes into these neighborhoods,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
finds out that stuff, and then she goes out of that neighborhood, and then her life, right?
Oh yeah,
And it's like, well, now you've taken the horror that you're addressing in the black community, and then you're just taking it outside of it and focusing on her and her world with her husband and
Right.
her his cheating and the girlfriend and all that. And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't address the stuff.
No,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it felt like more of an afterthought
Right.
was from that movie, where it's like it just was more of a like love film for Candyman, and
which was what the initial thing was supposed to be.
yeah, which is fine,
because it's the forbidden.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, which is fine, but it's like this one was about racism.
Right.
Like this one was like a very plainly like about racism, about black art, about how black artists are seen by the industry, and about like like those who grow up in that area,
Yeah.
and then become artists, and then get told that artists are gentrifying the neighborhoods that they lived in.
Yeah, which he has a great response to in the new movie, where
Yeah.
where he says to her like, "No,
Yeah,
you all do this, and then we pick up the scraps."
Right,
Like that
right.
that whole concept of like artists are like the ones dicking around in their studio, like she says, which is such an absurd thing to say.
right.
It's like, you're this rich white woman who moved in here. What are you talking about? You get paid to look at paintings. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
No.
Yeah, well, and like especially for him, because it was just like spoiler alert, he's the baby from
He's the
the
baby.
first movie.
Yeah.
He grew up in those neighborhoods.
Now, here's a fucking fun fact. The woman who plays the mom in that is
Yeah.
the same woman from the
Really?
first movie.
That's
Jesus,
awesome.
she looks
I kinda-
great.
Yeah, she looks great, right?
She looks incredible.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
She looks better
Okay,
now.
Look at her.
I know she
Look
looks.
at her. Look
yeah.
Yeah.
at her.
She's like the mom from
Now that's-
Modern Family.
I almost didn't even believe that was his mom.
Right?
I was like,
Wow.
she's so young.
Yeah. I know it's like a trope where they're like, oh, black don't crack. Dude, she looks incredible. And she
Yeah.
was what, in her 20s in the first one? I mean, holy shit. And also, and it's 40 years later.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
That's
Both
insane.
like- both
Or,
like-
sorry, 30 years later.
30 years later,
so,
yeah.
you
That's
know.
crazy. Oh, and another cool thing is they even made sure that she has a scar on her arm. So they actually let you know before you find out. She's got a scar on her arm from the
Oh,
meat
I
cleaver.
didn't
Remember when
notice
she cuts
Yeah,
her?
yeah.
Mhm.
Like, so that kind of attention to detail that Jordan Peele, as we covered in Get Out, like
Mhm.
every little thing, he didn't direct, but he made sure that like, that as being part of the production process, he was like on top of it. And obviously Nia DaCosta knows what she's doing. I mean, she did the Marvels, and she also did, she's doing 28 Years Later.
Mhm.
Wait, the
Oh,
thing
is
I
it
just
really?
read, or the
20
thing
years later, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like a sequel to that or something.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a third
well,
installment.
it's a third one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's like 28 days later, 28 weeks later, now there's 28 years later.
Yeah.
Oh.
All shot on an iPhone.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We always say that as a joke so much that I didn't know if that was true. That's true?
No, it is true.
Okay, cool.
But also, when you see a picture of the iPhone itself,
Yeah.
it's like 100 like
enhanced.
lenses and stuff on it.
Well,
Like,
28
they definitely modified it.
Yeah. 28 Days Later was one of the first movies to be fully shot digital, also, I believe. If I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's true. So, one of the things that a critique of this film by the general horror audience that I'm going to just guess is mostly white that says this is they say, little too on the nose, kind of unnecessary with how much they're doing on this. You're not like the biggest critique of it is like, we get it, but like you don't need the whole thing to be focused on race in this way that where it's like nonstop driving the story and like that's their thing, right?
Right.
And from a detached viewpoint, I could understand why, if you don't fully understand how impactful taking this story and doing that with this, especially in 2021,
Mhm.
when it's like pretty obvious that like what they're saying.
Yeah.
But Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that time period too.
Right, where it's
yeah,
like
this is right around the corner from the fucking
George Floyd.
the Black Lives Matter
Right.
movement.
it feels like if you're making a movie in 2021, I wouldn't know how you wouldn't address that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But so the critique from a lot of people, and I'm assuming mostly white people. Well, here's just a thing to think about with this. Nia DaCosta became the first black female filmmaker to have a #1 movie at the box office after this movie came out.
Hey,
That's awesome.
And so when you think about that in terms of the collective of this society,
Right.
and you think about the original Candyman and where we are now, there's a great line when he's in the art exhibit with the critic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about the art itself. And one of the critiques she says of it is, oh, it's like very kind of whatever. Like it's like very, and his girlfriend says a similar thing where she's like, oh, it's pretty straightforward, not a lot of room for nuance. And so like he listens to his girlfriend. Hers is more of a direct like critique of his artwork, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like showing blood and black hands holding each other, but also there's like violence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, oh, it's a little on the nose or whatever. I think that was, I could be wrong, but I think that was part of the message they worked into it, was to be like, we know you're going to say that about this, but also all of this violence is still happening.
Right.
yeah.
So to everybody who's like, it's too on the nose and they didn't need to do this or that, yes, the fuck they did.
Right.
Everything's not fixed. So if you don't fix this shit, like it's like all those old Chris Rock bits where he would like talk about race and you'd be like, oh yeah, that's so funny. And it's like, oh, but you guys didn't learn the lesson. So then what happens? And Dave Chappelle used to do it. So then what happens? 20 years later, Dave Chappelle's got to do 846, right? Where he just comes out and you think he's going to do a comedy special and he just tells you about why everything's still fucked. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if you don't learn the lesson and of like metaphor and like trying to cover things with art so that you can get it more subtly, so many people still don't understand the subtlety. So you know what you get in your face.
Yeah. Well, and it's that.
Sorry,
it's
I know I went on a diet.
No, you're fine. You're
Hit him
fine.
with you.
It's that Tupac quote where he's there's an interview where he's like, well, when it starts out, you know, we come knock on the door and we're like, oh, we're hungry, like singing and shit and trying to get your attention, you know, and then after like the 3 or 4, it's just like knocking on the door, we hungry, open up the door, and then, you know, next one comes around, it's just like, and then we bust in the door blasting, like, you know, it's
a great line.
Yeah,
but it's accurate.
Right. All the nuance gets thrown out the window when we notice that we were talking to fucking idiots.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of the people, not everybody who has that critique of it are doing it in like this like negative, like, oh, it's too woke. There's a lot of people that did that, but there's a lot of people who are on the other side of it where like,
it's Candyman.
Right. Yeah. You're like, it's but I get what they're saying.
So
The ones who aren't like right wing dickheads who are just like, yeah, man, we get it. But it's like, in a weird way, it's almost positive where you're like, oh, they're so on the correct side of things that they're like, yeah, okay. But they're just not realizing how many other people still don't get it. And like, instead of having that critique of it, we kind of need you guys to get on board and be like, no, yeah, they're still right. Fuck the people who are still holding society back with this old antiquated bullshit, in my humble opinion.
Amen, brother.
Thanks, man.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it was that over. I mean, it was it was on the nose a little bit, sure, I guess, but it didn't feel like at all like an issue. I feel
it doesn't
like it was
detract from.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like it fits.
Right.
With
Yeah.
This movie's not subtle, isn't it? I don't think it's supposed to be.
there's not
That's why
many
I laugh
horror
and you're like,
movies
it's
that are subtle.
Candyman. What do you mean? You want some like, oh, I think that was a hint.
Oh, did the slaves that got killed by white
Yeah,
people make
yeah,
you
it's a-
uncomfortable? Yeah. It does feel silly to say. Like,
After he murdered, what they were asking for is after he murdered those people, I can see the sadness in his eyes.
right.
He didn't say it.
Yeah. I think
I'm sticky. Oh, that's a reference to when they like dipped all the honeycomb on him.
What?
What?
it is kind of funny to think of like classic horror fans as like you know, like going back to all that crazy like campy 80s stuff where it's like so like it's like barely art.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like fun to watch because it's just silly and crazy. So it's funny to think of people who like will give that a pass and be like, well, this is a little on the nose.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. You're like, oh, yeah, did Sorority Babes in the Slime Bowl Rama ever? They just nailed everything in that movie.
Now, that movie touched on racism in a gentle way. You barely even noticed.
Didn't even notice.
When those slumber party babes felt the slime ball and they felt the experiences of the black man's past, they said, this is a movie.
If by that you mean,
I
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the entire cast is exclusively white. If that's what you mean by that, then yeah. Oh no,
I actually thought you just made up a movie, to be honest.
It's actually super racist.
What?
We got to watch it sometime. It's so insane. There's a little creature who's like a genie who like it's like a leprechaun thing where it's like don't make the wish because like the bad thing will happen, you know. You don't careful what you wish for. But he comes out and he's just got it's a white guy doing the voice and it's like a pimp accent from the 70s. it's so racist. Nice. Yeah, you give slime ball, you give sorority babes the slime ball around, you give that fucking thing a pass. But when it's like on the nose racism. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get too worked up.
It's okay.
Virginia Madsen actually has a cameo in this with her voice on the tape recordings that he's listening to.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's her voice now. It doesn't really sound like the 90s version, but you know, no one cares. It's like, yeah, it's for the movie. An obvious nod to Clive Barker. The art dealer's name is Clive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he actually has a fun little thing that they just let him work in. I don't know if it's originally in the script, but he says, must go faster, which is lines from Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park while he's getting chased by the T-Rex. And he also says in Independence Day. Everybody always forgets that one. He says it in Independence Day, too.
No.
So
Roll the clip.
No? Roll the clip. Ray, roll the clip. What's going on, bud?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Oh, you're looking at the clip?
I'm looking at a clip.
Oh. Hey, where's it going?
Lakeith Stanfield was originally considered for the role of Anthony.
Oh, that would have been... Okay, he did great.
Yeah.
He did great. But I fucking love Lakeith,
Lakeith's
and
so
I feel
good.
like he would have crushed that.
Absolutely.
Fuck, that would have been so good. Oh, okay. But I mean, it's still good, though.
He had to turn it down because he was doing Judas and the Black Messiah. So, great film. So understandable on his part, you know. Production was brought back to Cabrini Green. The high rises from the first film are all demolished now, but they digitally put them in for the 70s for the flashbacks. But the row houses are actually still there from the Cabrini Green projects. It's so hard to say. So what they shot in there is actually from that neighborhood before it was gentrified and everything. And like they said in the film, some people still live in there today. It's like almost completely abandoned, but there are still, I mean, maybe not now, but at least at the time, there was still some people that were living inside it. So
I wouldn't say I was on the bad guy's side. Because his whole, like,
the cops?
No, not that guy. No, I wasn't on that side.
We're having fun.
I think you know, that was the other guy, the one black guy who was trying to bring Candyman back. The laundromat dude.
Yeah, I mean, he could have maybe done it without, like, making this guy go crazy and cutting his arm off and stuff.
Sure. But
he could have been the drug dealer. He could have just been that guy.
He did kill all. He basically got the cops killed. It was his actions.
Man, what a good scene.
Yep. He's just trying to drive the right people out the neighborhood. A little bit like Scooby-Doo tactics, though. But
yeah, a little bit. Marketing for this film included daring people to say his name, which is kind of, I wouldn't, but I get it.
Candyman.
That's enough.
I won't do it 4 more times.
Yeah.
12 more times. There was also a Snapchat filter. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Don't ever say the N-word, but you can only say Candyman 4 times.
You can only say the N-word once. And
you're done.
No, there's a lot of people that say it a lot
I don't
more.
because every time I try and say it in front of a mirror, I'm like, this isn't for me.
The N-word?
I'm good.
That's great.
That's so funny. There was a Snapchat filter also to help promote this movie. So there was a thing where you could, pull out this filter and then Candyman would show up behind you. That's kind of cool.
Oh,
That actually kind of got me. I'm not gonna lie.
hey, jump
Yeah,
scare
it
in the
shook me a little
pod.
bit.
Hey, sorry. I imagined the filter.
Anthony McCoy, who is the lead character, his full name is actually said 5 times before he makes his full transformation into Candyman.
Whoa.
So that's a fun little thing that I'm certain did on purpose.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think. Oh man, yeah. There really isn't like a ton of stuff. I mean, there's a bunch of like whatever kind of things about it. Oh, the last one. It's not really.
Better
like
be a good one if his last one.
It's not really a closer, but
No.
I also don't care. Ooh, second to last. You're right.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, thank God.
You're right. They purposely spelled the word anytime the word "be," like "let it be," they would put 2 E's in the script just to fuck with people. Make it kind of little inside joke for the cast.
Yeah, that was the second last one. But what we really want to hear is that last one.
Yeah, let's get it.
They named characters in this. There's that line where he says, "Say my name."
Yeah.
But he's referring to. You're gonna want to calm down. This is dark. I didn't want him to get uncomfortable at the end.
I'm already uncomfortable. Go ahead.
So Candyman says, "Say my name."
Yeah.
Which is very reminiscent of "Say Their Names," referring to Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And many of the characters' first names and last names throughout the film are the names of people who were killed by the police. One most notable one, of course, is Breonna, who is the girlfriend in this.
Yeah.
And Breonna Taylor.
Not necessarily fun, but definitely interesting.
Actually, Ellis said, make sure you call these interesting facts when you get into the second movie. You don't really want to call these fun.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really a great touch to have to put in this film where it's like it's kind of honoring the message of the film and honoring those people's names. So.
Again, with that going back to the on the nose thing, it's like, that's intentionally done. It feels like that's good. It should be. The nose is right there.
Yeah.
Put it on it.
Maybe if you don't want it on the nose, then I don't know. Get rid of all the racists, dog.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you said the races.
I am
racist.
And the races. I'm over those too. I'm from Daytona. I could do without a 500 ever.
We all become Brazilian.
Brazilian. I don't want to speak Portuguese.
Are you talking about like if we all became one race?
Yeah.
Well, we all be Puerto Rican.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't
you?
He's like, no, stay out of it.
Well, I think it's like genetically Puerto Ricans are the most varied when it comes to like genetic makeup. It's like they're the most wide range that hits like almost like there's like Middle Eastern in Puerto Rican DNA.
Whoa.
There's Middle Eastern, there's African, European, Irish. There's a bunch of different.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's all become Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
let's do it, dude. I'm down.
We'd all be a lot cooler for sure.
Yeah.
I've always liked Bad Bunny. Truly, I'm not just saying that.
It's amazing.
He's really good.
I've not stopped listening to this album, but I was gonna say before I end up talking about Bad Bunny for too long, I do like that this series eventually made its hands into like black artists, actually finally gave it what it deserved.
Yeah,
because I feel like a white director would have ended a new Candyman movie with Beyonce or Destiny's Child. Say my name, say my name.
Speaking of all the notes.
Why did they put this in? Like, I get it.
Black art.
That's one thing that to go back talking about the first one where everybody there's a lot of critiques about it, but when you think about 1992, it's like there's a lot of white people that would have made that movie a lot worse. Yeah. But yes, putting it in the hands of black artists and with Monkey Paw Productions, where they're allowing for the story to be told by the people who are that it's about.
Yeah, they were like in the first one. They were like, "Man, this is on the nose. This is too on the nose. In the first movie, in the 90s, they're like, man, this is fucking... All right, we get it. They need us.
I don't want to be saved.
Man. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Hey, man, happy Black History Month. honestly.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Can I be honest with the? I've been wanting to say this for 30 minutes. No, about it's going ahead. The stats.
Mm-hmm.
Peacock. I did see one of the Rotten Tomatoes.
For the new one.
Yeah, Peacock does that, man.
Yeah.
Fucking Peacock.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. They're ruining it. We're the only people who would be bothered by this.
I know.
But it is kind of annoying. Oh yeah, we gotta wrap it up. Well, let's do it.
Okay.
Do you remember the Rotten Tomato scores?
I'm pretty sure. If we start with the new one.
Let's start with the new one, and you tell me what you think they
Okay.
were.
We're going with Rotten Tomatoes?
How good your memory is. This one won't count
Okay.
because if you nail it.
I only know the new one's Rotten Tomatoes, I think, and I think it's 84 for critic,
Mhm.
and then 76 for audience.
What do you think?
I'm going to say 75 for audience and 82 for critics.
Yeah, it's 84 and 72. So,
Oh.
yeah, you guys are pretty much like right there. But you got the critic on the nose. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I know.
Oh.
Dude, fucking Peacock, man. Peacock, fix it.
Yeah. How about you get your cock out of your peas?
And start actually doing stuff.
so we'll
man.
just do
I
one
don't
of-
know. Actually, I don't know.
It was a jarring statement. I didn't.
Yeah,
I was
man.
like, he's really
And it-
trying to follow that up. I don't know where he's gonna go.
I was like, I need to say something quick.
I like see Sean says whatever he wants, and then everybody's like, you can't say anything anymore. Sean says literally whatever he
Literally.
wants.
Anything that
Ooh.
comes.
Sean
to his
just
mind.
doesn't want to say awful things.
Yeah.
That's all. He says confusing things.
Yeah.
But then he digs himself out of that hole.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Mostly what Sean wants to say is things that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
That's what I want them to think. Truthfully, that's just what I default to.
We'll do the budget and box office because Peacock didn't ruin that.
Oh, man.
What do you think the budget was for the new Candyman?
For the new one?
Yeah.
Can I go first again? I'll go 21. Probably, I mean, honestly, probably like 18 million.
Hmm.
And I'll say box office 40.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 30 million
For budget?
for budget.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Was it?
What did I say? 30 or 40?
You said 30?
30. Yeah.
And what do you think
And
for box
then
office?
Box office. I'm gonna say 60 million.
Well,
Oh, shit.
22 million
Oh.
Oh.
for the budget. Box office 77 million.
Wow. That's really good.
You guys got 1 and 1
Amy.
on each of those because I'm gonna give you both a point for Rotten Tomatoes.
Underestimated. I guess I just don't hear about horror movies enough, but that was pretty big then.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
though,
that
'cause-
made a pretty decent amount of
yeah,
money.
yeah, did really good. It's funny because Sean said 21 million right at the beginning, and then he changed it to 18. You're really like right there, but you got the point anyway because he went up a little
Yeah.
higher. It does look like a $30 million movie. I mean,
It's
fucking
it's
beautiful.
shot so well.
Yeah. Oh, the
Gorgeous.
shots are great. I like the. I was telling. I like the colors in it. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
blues and the
Colors really done
pinks.
well.
And then the use of the yellow and orange at the right
Mm.
times, like not overdoing it and making it the entire thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like always in his perspective and from his like moments. The more he becomes Candyman, the more yellow and orange you start to see around him, which is kind of
Oh
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, Candyman, 1992. We're gonna do budget and box office.
$15 million
Okay.
budget.
All right.
Box office. This is 90s. Probably wasn't making as much. I'm gonna say 50 million.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going 10 million for budget,
Okay.
and I think I'm gonna run it back 40 million. I think this one's gonna be 40 million.
40 million.
Okay. The budget for the film was only $6 million,
Holy shit! God damn it!
which
dude.
is really
Actually crazy. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's impressive they were able to do that. I mean,
yeah, especially since they had to pay Tony Todd $23,000.
just for these things, yeah. And then the box office total was 26 million.
Ooh. Wow.
Ooh.
So let's see.
God,
So
we both
who gets-
overshot it.
Yeah, but I had overshot it less.
You did
Yeah,
overshot it.
yeah,
so
you
you're
overshot it less, so you get the 2
2
points on
points.
that.
2
All right,
points,
and let's
baby.
do Rotten Tomatoes.
You may go first.
Sure. I'm gonna say critics gave it an 85.
Okay.
And audience members gave it a 80.
Sean.
For the first one, say critics 72.
Okay.
Audience. I think actually it's the opposite, right? Where I think the audience is higher, but I'll go 79.
9. Okay.
Right, one below you.
Critic score is 79%,
Ooh.
Ooh.
Fuck, I think that's you.
and the audience score with over 100K reviews, 63%.
Jeez, that's
That's low.
Yeah. So I think
Bunch of fucking racist.
so you get the critic on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 And then Sean gets the audience score.
Excellent.
Hmm.
I think he does. What do you say, Sean? 73?
Say like 79, but I think
70
his
oh,
was
yeah,
in the
'cause he's
80s,
in the 80s,
so
yeah.
we weren't close.
Not bad, boys.
Mhm.
Not
Thanks.
bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes our episode on Candyman. Happy Black History Month. It does exist. Doesn't matter what fucking asshole
Yeah. Fuck
tries
Trump.
to tell you that it doesn't, because it does.
Yeah.
And you can remove it from every office memo and whatever the fuck. Fuck you. And that's it.
Yeah.
So, as always, join the Patreon if you haven't already. We got our Army of Darkness episode out, which is so much fun with with Ray's girlfriend Megan, Ray's sister, and her girlfriend are on the episode with us. Sean was
Yeah.
on a hiatus to venture into. You were just living your life, being a wild boy.
Yeah. Sean went on a date, then woke up too late the next day.
Like a gate.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Good for you. Anyway, it's a very fun episode. A lot of good feedback on that so far. A lot of people saying it was a lot of fun, and they enjoyed having the special guests. So that was cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was a dice throw.
Yeah. I
Where
didn't know
like
how that was
everybody's
gonna
kind of
go.
drunk. How's this gonna come out?
Yeah.
Hey.
It was a lot of fun though. It was
Yeah. I listened to some of it. I think I listened to it all.
cool. Yeah, I listened to it the
Yeah.
other day. It was great.
Okay.
So-
Cool.
Anyway, as always, thank you to our Patreon members, Nicole and Kelly, our top tier members. Thank you guys for keeping the lights on and paying those bills for us, you know?
Yep.
Hey. And of course, our $5 tier members, we got
Dank
Jackie,
Sinatra.
Dank Sinatra, and Aaron. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
And we will
Thanks.
see you next week
Yeah.
for a surprise.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Throw it.
I get 2 chances.
So aggressive.
Oh, I missed with the one. Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-bum. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, shit.
Swallow this.